We are back in the corner of shame again. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Now for today's book haul, we will be focusing on all the eBay books that I did pick up in the last 3 months with this book haul. There are a ton of books, so unfortunately I won't be going through each and every synopsis of the book. This book haul is just to mainly show you of why I bought the book, because it's a pretty cover or because I wanted to read the genre. So let's get started. So the first 4 books I'm going to be showing you is actually from one author called Vicky Drilling. And now I thought that when I bought this lot that it was a quartet in the series of historical romance, but it turns out that it's actually a trilogy and that I have one book of one series. So the first book that I did pick up is this one called What a Wicked Earl Wants, and this is part of her series called the Sinful Scoundrel series. Unfortunately, I don't have book 1 or book 2 or book 3 or any of the books in the series, and I only have one, so I would have to go revisit the websites again to look for the next few books in a series if I really enjoy this one. This one has such a beautiful cover. It's purple and pink and so beautiful. So the next book that I did pick up is actually book 1 in her series of the trilogy that I was just mentioning. This one is actually called How to Marry a Duke, and I thought it was so beautiful, so that's why I was really intrigued and captivated to read the book. This one has no step back or back cover. Then I picked up the next book in the series called How to Seduce a Scoundrel, and it's orange, and I don't know, I just really like the theme of this covers in the series, and I thought it was really pretty. Also to note that these books are actually published from Forever Romance, which I haven't seen in a long time where their covers actually look this stunning. Then finally, the last book that I got from Vicky Drilling is How to Ravish a Rake, and this one's just so pretty too as well, and I feel like the themes overall in this quartet are so beautiful to look at on my shelves, and I'm sure I'm going to love them. So now moving on to a genre that I don't normally typically talk about. Basically, we had a paranormal romance readathon hosted with me and my friends last year, and I kind of got myself into some paranormal romance. And I was in the mood for some paranormal romance back at the time, so that's why I bid on this lot from Rachel Vincent. This one is her complete series, I think, of this like shapeshifter paranormal romance. So the first book that I have is Pride, and then I have Stray, and then I have Shift, and then I have Prey, and then I have Rogue. And now I think this one follows our main character kind of going through all these issues throughout the series, and that it's only like you have to read it in series format and you can't just skip along and pick whatever you choose. So while browsing through eBay, I did see some books that sparked my interest, and I was really shocked and surprised about how gorgeous these 2 books were, so I had to pick it up. So the author that I did pick up is an author that I'd never seen before. I bought this on Thrift Books because I didn't want to buy the whole lot. I just wanted to buy it individually. This one's from Ijuna Riley, and it's called Waltz in Time, and I think it has some time travel elements to it if I remember correctly, but don't quote me. The back cover is just so beautiful and gorgeous, so that's why I had to pick it up. The other book that I did get from Ijuna Riley is Time Swept Bride, so I do think it is time travel. And then look how beautiful it is. They're in the ocean. And finally, I saw on my friend Jessica Peace Love Books XO here on booktube and also on Instagram, I saw her haul this book called Prisoner of Passion, and I thought it was like really cool. This one's like a sci-fi romance, which I normally don't read, but I really wanted the cover. Unfortunately, my edition is not as gorgeous as hers, and a corner was actually ripped off. And then I was on eBay again, and I saw a book that kind of sparked my interest, and then this one is called More Than Kisses, and it's like this beautiful ranch style one, and there's no back cover, but the cover is beautiful enough. Now, I was also on eBay and I saw 2 books that had gorgeous step backs, and I really wanted them, and then I thought that I was like on my way to getting them, because when I went on Thrift Books, you can check ISBNs to see if you're getting the edition that you want. So I thought that I was getting the ones with the step backs, but I didn't get it. So this one is just a really plain, boring one from Kat Martin and this one's called Gypsy Lord. And then I got a really disappointing cover of Devil's Mistress by Heather Graham. So if you guys are curious as to how beautiful these step backs are, I suggest you go on Goodreads and check them out. So I'm a huge fan of early 2000s romance novels, and I'm a huge fan of like their wacky and zany covers. So I picked up 2 books that I thought were super interesting after reading the synopsises of each, and I picked them up individually on thrift books. This one's from Karen Kendall called Something About Sicily, and then this one is from Karen Kendall again, but this one unfortunately is a library edition, so I was kind of upset about it. But this one's called Someone Like Him. So the next couple of books I'm going to show you is going to be historical romance. Now these books were part of a book lot, or it wasn't entirely from a book lot, but I don't even remember which one was from that book lot that I'm about to tell you. But basically what happened was that there was this book lot. It was like 50 books or something like that. It was like a huge number of books. And because the more books there are, the shipping is going to get more expensive. And I ended up paying $100 on this lot, and I ended up having to call my friend Lacey and hold her hand virtually because we actually live in 2 different countries, but I needed her emotional support as I hit checkout on eBay. So let's just show you the goods and why I actually bet on this lot. So the first book that I think that I got from the lot is this book from Lorraine Heath. This one is called When the Marquis Falls, and it's actually a novella. I love Lorraine Heath, and obviously I had to pick it up. I love novellas too as well. Then I have 2 books here that is part of a series, but it's broken up because I don't have the other books. So unfortunately I'm going to have to hunt down these books too. This one is from Cara Elliott, and these look so pretty. Like, they're actually in really good condition. This one's called Scandalously Yours, and this one's called Sinfully Yours, and this one is part of the Hellions of High Street series. Then I have 2 books from Casey Michaels, and I'm probably gonna have more, but these are just what's next to me right now. This one's called What an Earl Wants, and this one is called A Scandalous Proposal. I actually already have this book already, so obviously this is a duplicate copy. Casey Michaels is a very pronounced historical romance author that lots of people talk about, or at least I see all the time from my thrift stores and also from the library, so I'm excited to pick her up. Then I have these 2 books that look super fun. This one's from an author that I've never heard before. This one's called Laurel McKee, and this one's called One Naughty Night, and this one's called Two Sinful Secrets. So I think they're part of a series, and if they're gonna do that whole thing like Sarah McLean series with, you know, like the 9 reasons, the 11 thing, and the 10 thing, then I'm up for it. What I mean by that is that the titles have numbers, and then that's how you can tell which book in the series it is, because one focuses on 1, the other one focuses on 2, and numerically like that. Then I kind of have these very 2 old vintage covers. Now this one I'm really excited about because this one is from Victoria Alexander, and I actually have a lot of her books already. I haven't really read her, but I have them from lots that I did buy. This one's called Paradise Bay, and I don't know, it just looks so pretty. The other one that I didn't want to talk about is this book from Jennifer Ashley called Perils of the Heart. Now my friend Jessica actually loves Jennifer Ashley, so I wanted to get some of her books so that I could read them because historical romance is our thing. Then I have 2 books here, and they're from Amanda Collins. Now this one is called Why Lords Lose Their Hearts, which sounds so fun because I'm expecting our hero to actually not want to fall in love but accidentally falls in love anyways. And then this one's from Amanda Collins again, called Good Earl Gone Bad, which sounds really fun too because that means that our hero is actually being influenced by our main heroine to break the rules a bit. So I've been collecting a lot of Sandra Hill books because they look so fun, and I got this big lot, so I was like, okay, let's just keep buying more Sandra Hill books. Some of them have time travel elements into it, but I don't know which ones. So these latest 2 editions I did get were really pristine conditions. This one's called My Fair Viking, and now I never really read many Viking historical romances before, but I'm super excited for it. And this one's called The Pirate Bride, and I love pirates. So my pile of shame and my corner of shame, or whatever, my towers of shame, they have all been kind of like mixed up here and there. So I actually don't know which of the books did I already show you. So I actually don't remember which books that I already showed you and which I didn't. So if I did show you these books before, oops, sorry, but if you didn't, then hey, hello, welcome to the show. So the one book that I did pick up is called One Night with a Rogue. Now this one is an anthology, like it has multiple authors and their historical romance, and I never read any of these authors before, but I was intrigued by the cover because, hey, look, he's looking at her and there's curtains. I don't know. It was just aesthetically pleasing to me. Then I have 1 copy of The Deed by Lindsay Sands. Now, I'm not really like that huge of a fan of her books, but I'm a huge fan of her vintage covers. So when I spotted a lot filled with all her books. I had to get some. Then I have the next one called My Lady Notorious by Jo Beverly, and now this one is from Thrift Books. I went in and I purchased it individually. It was not from a lot, mostly because I found the cover of it on the store and I had to get it. Like, they're both. Then I got a Heather Graham novel called Pirate's Pleasure. I love pirates. I have to get it, and like, this vintage cover is so. Then I have a Jillian Hunter book. This one's kind of like disappointing because it doesn't have a step back. I think this was part of my big lot that I got. So out of the giant lot, I got this big box of books that I did put in a plastic container, mostly because it was just easier to stack. But these are the books that are published in the earlier years and that I'm not really sure if I'm going to read it like ASAP. So that's why I put it in the box to separate from the rest of the books that I think that I'll get to it earlier. So right off the bat, we have a book by Casey Edwards, and now this one's called Tough the Wild Wind. Now I see a lot of her books on eBay, but I don't pick them up, mostly because they're usually about Native Americans and I don't want to read anything about that. And during that time and era, I know that that was a very popular topic back in the earlier years for historical romance. So this is one of them that I don't think has to deal with Native Americans. So the next book that I do have to show you is Yesterday Years by Suzanne Lay. And now this one is really pretty in the sense that it's kind of one big cover. And I'm not going to like damage the spine anymore, but I just kept it because it was pretty. So yeah, these books are really old, and like looking at them, will I read them anytime soon? I don't know. But they are really pretty to look at. So this one's called Bound by the Heart and it's by Marshall Canham. This one's called Pirates Wild Paradise by Kate Douglas. And I think one of the great things about this lot that I did pick up that I forgot to mention was that majority of the books are pirate related. So even though I'm not going to read it like ASAP, like next week, I know that I have these pirate historical romance novels on my shelf that I could read in the future when I'm in a pirate mood. Makes me happy enough. You know what? I'm not going to regret buying this lot. Then I also have Secret Rapture by Gloria Jones-Wolfe. Then I have Estacy's Paradise by Phoebe Gong. Then I have Dangerous Desire by Ashley Snow. Then I have Defiant Captive by Kathy Jones, and I like this cover a lot because she's wearing a pink dress and pink is always so pretty. Then we have Moonlight Angel by Casey Stewart, and we have another pirate novel called Pirate's Passionate Slave, very pretty in the moonlight. Then we have Windswept Passion by Sonia T. Pelton. Then we have Fire and Ice by Catherine Hart. Then we have By Love Betrayed by Sandra Dubin. Then we have Catherine Deville's Enraptured. I can't read, like sometimes like the writing is just a little too fancy for me to read, and if I'm doing this a lot it's because there's a lot of dust. Then we have A Woman's Heart by Rosalind West. Then we have this book called Lady Rogue by Enamin Burr, and it has a step back like this. Then we have another pirate romance. This one is from Michelle Betty and it's called Romancing the Pirate. Then we have another Catherine Hart novel called Ashes and Ecstasy. And then finally we have a book called Joanne Wendy's Beyond the Savage Sea. So the last 4 books that I have to show you from a historical romance author is this lot from Loretta Chase. Now I don't know if I showed you guys this or not. Like honestly, so sorry, but confusion is happening here in the corner of shame. Loretta Chase, an author that I haven't read a lot from, heard a lot of great things from, wanted to buy it. This one is called Vixen and Velvet. Beautiful step back. Then we have Dukes Prefer Blondes. Beautiful step back. Then we have Don't Tempt Me. Beautiful step back. I don't know why I have this accent. And then we have Your Scandalous Ways. Beautiful step back. And then the last book that I did want to show you from this really quick haul is Baby Oh Baby, and by Robin Wells, and this one's just a early 2000s zany contemporary romance. So that is it for all the books I did buy from eBay that I haven't got a chance to show you yet. I think I still have a bunch more books to show you that are outside of my room, but I'm a little bit too lazy to grab them. So this is it for now. Let's keep it nice and short. I'll see you guys again next time. Bye.